I've been carving, I guess, over 20 years. I don't know. I started, I guess, my first official class. I was probably 18, 19. We did it with Tom Wolfe up in West Jefferson, North Carolina. So just kind of I took that first class. I've always played with knives and such like that. So it was just kind of natural, you know. So after that first class, I was bit, you know. So just kind of progressed from pocket knives and such like that into the funny looking little, you know, carving knives. I thought that's not a knife, you know. You know, something like this, you know, that's a knife. That's probably one of the first knives. It is the first knife. My mom got this for me when I was 9 years old, and a Schrade. Imagine that in the hands of a 9-year-old, but just shows you what kind of trust she had in me. So this has always been just kind of used in the woods, you know, and so it started with definitely a love affair, you know, with knives and obviously what the tool could do for you. So just kind of progressed from there, you know, and you know, kind of like what we're going to show, some of the stuff that I would carve, you know, folks would say, that's just amazing. And I'm thinking, that's, you know, it's awful, it's pitiful. But, you know, folks would say, I'll give you $10 for that. So I found out you know, I could eat for like 2 weeks straight, you know, off of keychains and such. So I thought, maybe something to this. So, but it was just fun, you know, it was just, it's something good if you got a stressful job, you know, it's something that you can come home and just grab a knife and a block of wood. It doesn't have to be a carving knife. You don't have to sit and carve little caricatures or anything. You can just take a block of wood and your knife and relieve so much stress. You know, you can just take so much off of here and so much out of here just with those blades. So you know, over 20 years and hadn't had a heart attack yet. So hopefully that's where it goes. Tom Wolfe, definitely, without a doubt. You know, when I started carving, I had no idea, you know, what kind of stuff was out there, and took this class on how to carve. We carved Old World Santa Clauses. Didn't have a clue what I was carving. You know, I showed up with like 5 pocket knives and that was it. And man, it was just crazy. We went back to Tom's shop and I seen all the things that, you know, he'd done out of wood, and it just blew me away. So I thought right then, this is what I want to do, you know. So after extensively printing was my job, and so after that, you know, I just thought, what the heck, it's time to just sit down and carve for a while. So I make knives as well. So, you know, it's definitely Tom Wolfe is definitely the one that got me into caricatures. Do sell them. Used to do a lot of craft shows, so learned to carve kind of quick. We'll be getting into that. You know, time is money when you go to the craft shows. So you learn you learn different ways, such as either, you know, power carving with rotary bits or something like this reciprocating carver, you know, something to kind of hurry it up. But basically it all comes down to I like hand tools, so that's what I use as my finish, doing all of my work with a knife or a gouge, so I can get this nice clean sheen on there, because I just don't like using sandpaper, you know, on my carvings. There's a lot of people that say, do I need to take a little piece of sandpaper? You know, no, you don't need to take a little piece of sandpaper. You need to take that knife and make one cut and another cut and get that little piece out of there. And then you don't have to worry about sanding. So it's I just don't like sandpaper. I just like hand tools, but I will use power, you know, have no problem. Do sell rough outs. This little hillbilly, I've got a little hillbilly rough out we're going to be working on, and I've got a little eagle head rough out right now. so I do sell those, and they can contact me through email. And I don't know it right off the top of my head, but yeah, it's just generally the best way to get a hold of us is just through the email. I like to go to Charlotte, definitely. North Carolina. That's probably my favorite show. It's just, I don't know, been going there since I was young, you know, so every time I go there, it's just like family. I mean, all the carving shows all over the country, you know, you can not know anybody the first day, but as soon as everybody gets together, you know, you can be doctors, lawyers, plumbers, it doesn't matter, but as soon as you walk through those doors, you're a wood carver. And so that's kind of cool. But yeah, I attend them all through the Southeast. I hadn't been doing as much here lately. Used to do the CCA competition and stuff like that, but it's just the knives and everything else. Been kind of busy doing that. So, oh man, with all the awards and stuff, I would have to say it's probably the Tom Wolfe whittling contest of all things. You know, even the ribbons from the Caricature Carvers of America competition, I've won in there. You know, blue ribbons in different places, but these whittling contests, it's a timed event. You might have an hour and a half, 2 hours to carve, and they might give you just a block of wood. You never really know, and that's the neat thing about it, is they may just give you this block of wood, you know, and say, okay boys, you got an hour and a half, carve something. And that's where I really learned to carve, is in that, because, you know, back then you'd get a Tom Wolfe original carving if you came in first, and a case knife and stuff like that. So you take a poor old boy and about $400 worth of prizes in first place. And I'll show you some motivation right quick, but that is, I don't know, for a period of years, probably about like 7 or 8 years, it seems like they would have them on Saturday and Sunday. So it kind of seemed like on at least one of the days I would come in first place, and at least the judges said I did anyway. So that was, to me, that was a biggie, because you got some very hard competition. You got people like Mark Akers, who you've already got. You got Tom sitting there. Of course, he's, you know, he doesn't compete, but it's just some real tough competition. There's 18 to 20 guys sitting in a circle, and you got to have your game on. You don't have to be necessarily the bestest carver. I just kind of outsmart them, you know. So, nah, they're all good, and that is what elevates. You know, I think that's what elevates the competition, is if you've got somebody sitting beside of you, and you know they're a good carver, and you know they can do it quickly. If you're least bit competitive, you're gonna step up your game just a little bit more.